everyone, it's Justin Twiller with another video forecast. In today's forecast, we're going to be breaking down the upcoming winter storms coming to the United States. Starting off with our current hazards, we currently have some winter weather advisories in portions of Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, along with parts of Wisconsin. Now, these are going to be for total sleet accumulations up to about 1/10 of an inch, and along with some ice up to maybe 1/10 of an inch. Now, if we head over here, this is where we get our big hazards up here in the Northeast. We see quite a few winter weather advisories, but those purple shades that we see in there and across here are all ice storm warnings. Those are very big, and we have to watch for that. Those are going to be up for 3/10 of an inch of ice. Now let's go and look at the models. We're going to look at the GFS. You can go ahead and see our ice storm starts off around tomorrow. But as you can see back here in like Iowa, Missouri, we see it starting off. So that is something we have to watch for. We get some snow up towards the Dakotas into the Great Lakes, where we get our big ice storm that pushes through, causing a potential nor'easter. And then we get round 2 yet again on the 8th. Just crazy. Before we finally seem to die out before looking at the potential for even potentially round 3. Now, I will say with this, right here, the storm system, there are key uncertainties all across this area, whether it is going to be rain, snow, or freezing rain. Now, it all depends how far this trough digs down. If it digs down like this, we're going to see more rain. If it digs down more like this, we're going to see more snow across this area. So it all depends on how this trough sets up. But nevertheless, we do expect a snow/ice storm to unfold up there towards the northeast, in the east, along the east coast. But I will say something that we are a little bit more confident in is a little backside dusting of snow, probably back in portions of Oklahoma, Kansas, and Arkansas. We do expect maybe accumulation up to 2 inches with that little backside. But that is the one that we have the most uncertainty with, is how fast is that rain going to change over to snow, or is it going to be freezing rain? And once we get here, we just start seeing random scenarios play out. So anything we see past here, we really can't trust. So, as you can tell, it just keeps like going back and forth between all these storm systems. Just keep going, and it even brings a nor'easter, as you can tell. So yeah, very uncertain out there. If we go ahead and look at the snow accumulation, you can tell around Oklahoma we could see anywhere from 1 to 3 inches. Anywhere in this area we're looking at about 1 to 3 inches. And here we are looking from anywhere from probably around 6 inches to probably around 2 feet being possible. Bigger thing is going to be how much ice we see, as that is a huge factor that is playing into this. And as you can tell, it's bringing quite the ice, about 2 to 3 inches being possible across anywhere in this area, as it's a very large area that we definitely have to watch for. I definitely don't feel we will see that much, but go ahead. You can see this is the European model. We can only see 10-1 snowfall, but we will look. As you can tell, we see that ice storm, so things are aligning. Stars are aligning with this. Now keep in mind, this is the 12Z run of the European, and there are still some things with snowfall back here in Oklahoma that are going on that the GFS was on board with at 12Z, now is not. So keep in mind that it's not going to be the most accurate, but it still does show that second ice storm. And then one of those things that we're having to watch is is that going to be ice or freezing rain? As you can tell, everything is pretty much aligning with what the GFS was saying. So that's something we really have to watch for, is how much this is aligning. Go and look at the 10-in-1 snowfall. You can go ahead and tell that it's still picking up on quite the snow up there in the northeast. Pretty sharp cutoff line though here. Depending on how far south it gets, there's that sharp cutoff. As you can tell, widely scattered for all that snow in portions of Oklahoma and Texas. Or I should say Texas and Oklahoma, but I do not believe that we will get this right here. I feel if anything that needs to be pushed up around portions of Oklahoma, even pushed up farther into parts of Kansas. I feel that is a lot more likely to happen in portions of Oklahoma or Kansas or even Missouri or Arkansas than it is to happen back here in Texas. Now, if we want to look at the Canadian model, it's that outlier model, like we have said before. It is also on board with that very intense. As I'm gonna have to pull up freezing rain because I did not, but with a pretty intense ice storm, along with that next ice storm. And then it's also going along with that snowstorm. Not as intense though, I will say, and it has it a lot farther to the south. And like we said, it's the outlier model. No other models are showing this. That's why we really can't trust this the most. Go to freezing rain and play that all the way through. You can see it's picking up on quite the ice in Texas, along with around an inch of ice up there in the northeast. Now, if we go and look at total snowfall that it's picking up on, it is also picking up on quite a bit of snow in the northeast, so it's on board with the northeast. Showing a little bit heavier snow accumulation here on the east coast, with pretty much just a swath like across this area of a light snow. But the one weird thing is it has like this dead zone like right across this area where it just has no snow, but everywhere around it's seeing snow. So that's what we have to watch for. Though, one thing that I'd also like to point out is we are watching for a little bit of a freezing drizzle across this area for tomorrow morning. So we're going to go ahead and look at the NAM for this, as you can tell. We are going to be getting our showers. The questions remain, how cold are the temperatures going to get, and when will they drop below freezing? If they do, as you can tell, back in Oklahoma it doesn't look likely, but in portions of Missouri it looks like it is possible for a little bit of a freezing drizzle to take place before we get our big ice storm and snowstorm. That's about as far out as we can see there on the NAM. Go ahead and look at total snowfall as well. You can see it is not picking up on quite as big totals as the GFS, European, and Canadian model were, but nevertheless, it is still picking up on some. It's still picking up on a decent amount of ice, like the GFS was, but as you can tell, it's picking up on this swath of freezing rain. As you can tell, this is for tomorrow morning. It's picking up on that swath. Questions that remain with that: how far north or how far south will this go? So I'm saying it can drop that far south or go that far north, but that is still a big question. So we're going to look at the RAP, the RAP, as I did not put that on forecast loop for you guys. But if we go and look at it, it does pick up on those showers. That is as far out as it goes. It's tomorrow morning, but it did pick up on those showers, just not really like freezing rain wise. So that is something that it's like, see, some of these models are showing it, others aren't. We're going to look at the total snowfall. As you can tell, we really don't get far enough out to see it, along with freezing rain. we don't get far enough out to see it. So, as it does pick up on a little bit of freezing rain tomorrow morning, so I feel it is likely that we see about 100th to 200ths of an inch across this area tomorrow, maybe even just like across this area. It all just depends. I will say, I will go ahead and go over here to forecast NWS hazards regional in the central US, as we do have a few red flag warnings, just so you know, but maybe across this area we might get a winter weather advisory depending on what models are showing later today. We might pick up on a winter weather advisory for 100th of an inch of ice, but it will be interesting to see. If you guys all did enjoy today's video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.